Hi, welcome along to the AFTV Tactical Insight Show with my man Graham. We are here to talk about yet another defeat, unfortunately. For much of the game against Chelsea, it was looking good. The first half, me and all the people around me, where I sit, they're all like, you know what? That's the first time probably this season at home that we feel like, yeah, that's how this guy started singing. I think I said it yesterday when I was doing one of the preview videos. He started singing, "Are you Arsenal in disguise? Are you our team?" Yeah. Right, because we just ain't seen that for so long. But then in the second half, game of two halves, it all went wrong, and we end up losing 2-1. Break it down for us. What happened?
Well, I think the first half was the best 45 minutes by an Arsenal team this season. That's the positives, right? And you can see already what he's given to the team, Arteta. He's given us energy, intensity, and he's given us freedom in a structure to play good football. And I really enjoyed the performance first half. We started off really on the front foot in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Chelsea started with the similar formation they went with at Tottenham, a sort of a 3-4-2-1. With their three centre-backs, which I've left it like this because I want to show the change in formations. Lampard showed his tactical flexibility in this game by changing formation 3 times. And we have to say in the end, tactically, Lampard got it right and won the game with his tactical tweaks, and Arteta failed to respond. But first half, I thought the game plan was clear, and it was great to see an Arsenal team pushed up the pitch. We are a small space team, Robbie. We're not... This season, we've been losing games with massive spaces between the defence and the attack. This game... Fence pushed up high, and it's coordinated pressing from the front with Aubameyang pressing there, Lacazette there, and Nelson there, and then our midfielders pushing up as well, and our defenders pushing up in a high line. And that was great to see. That's something I haven't seen this season, that was great to see. And I think that first half, we dominated the first 25 minutes. We were winning the game 4 shots to 1. Final third passes 20-6. Passes into the box 4-1, and we led 1-0. And I think the game plan was clear: to push up, press Chelsea, stop them playing through the middle of the park. Our 2 centre halves pushing on to Abraham. Chelsea had no space to play through the middle of the park. I said to you last week the midfield was crucial, and I think that started really well for us. And we were in control of the game. We scored a very good goal where Chambers flicked it on and Aubameyang headed it in.
Great.
And we had other half chances. Lacazette, ball wouldn't come down to him, took too long to get the shot away. And Chelsea were, I think, struggling. Arsenal's game plan was working perfectly, but then Lampard showed his tactical flexibility. He changed the game. Chelsea were fouling us a lot in that first half as well. They committed
getting away with it.
Yeah, the referee was very... He was poor for both sides, I think.
I don't like to complain about refs, but he was dreadful.
We're going to touch on the Jorginho, whether he should have been sent off or not. We also got the benefit of 1 or 2 decisions as well. Guendouzi on Abraham, so we will be fair in that. I think you have to be fair, but I thought the referee was poor. He allowed them to get away with a lot of tactical fouling. They committed 12 fouls, Robbie, in the first 30 minutes. They committed most fouls in the first half by any team in the Premier League this season, and we ended up having 1 more player booked than them, 5-4. But he didn't. The first player he booked was actually Mount. That was the strange thing about it. Mount, who's not really what I'll call an aggressive sort of tackler, but that took him over half an hour. Rudiger got away with a foul he should have been booked for earlier, and he got a booking. Had he been booked earlier, he might have been in trouble. But I thought the referee was very weak, and I want to touch on later how Lacazette really helped him make that decision and the Arsenal team in general, by surrounding him, which took the emphasis away from him doing his job. But let's go back to that first half. This was really positive. We were dominating the game, playing great football, lovely one-touch football. It was slick passing, and the defence was focused. Everything about our performance in that first half, certainly up to the tactical change by Lampard, was really good.
Right, now what goes wrong in the second half?
I think Chelsea started to get a hold in the game after about 35 minutes, Robbie. Jorginho coming on gave them the extra man in midfield. And I did say to you last week that midfield will be key. And I thought they had better midfield players than us. And I think him coming on, he was their key player. I've highlighted a couple of things here I noticed from his performance yesterday. Most interceptions in the game. 100% long passes completed in the game, which is unusual to complete 100% long passes. 5 out of 5. He also was... what he did really cleverly was, because Ozil was getting in a lot of pockets of space. So when they flipped to this 4-3-3, and we'll look at that now. got 5 there, so I'll just move that there. So they flipped to this 4-3-3. He comes into the middle as the holding player. Kante and Kovacic. I hope I say that correctly. Kovacic, I always get his name wrong. Can't say it. And then they'd gone to the back four. Azpilicueta come over to left back. Tomori went to right back. And then you got William switched. He's over on the right. Mount's over here. And they got a hold of the game more. I think that's what they did as that first half came to an end. They're now in this 4-3-3 shape. And I think that they had the extra man in midfield, snuffling out Mesut Ozil, who was getting into pockets of space. He became less effective as the game wore on. And they started to get a foothold in the game. But for all that, second half, we were holding them at bay, I thought, even though they were dominating possession in the game. But I think Arteta really missed the trick here. And as much as his coaching has been brilliant so far, he's improved people like Maitland-Niles. I looked at Maitland-Niles' numbers. He was one of our best players. He's done wonders with Maitland-Niles already.
Last 2 games he's played well, Maitland-Niles.
And Bellerin might face a bit of...
well, that's all I've always been saying about Maitland-Niles. Make it tough for Bellerin to get back in the team.
Yeah.
Which he can do, because he can make that position his own.
Yep.
You know?
So, Maitland-Niles, Robbie. 84% pass accuracy, 4 out of 7 accurate long balls, 5 out of 7 tackles won, 3 interceptions and 1 completed dribble. I think he had an excellent game in this game. I think we were unlucky with the Chambers injury.
He was playing well.
He was playing really well in that first half. And I think Luiz probably had his best game for us. A lot of good interceptions in the second half. And I thought that generally we defended well. And where it went wrong second half was, I think Arteta, this is just my opinion, did not respond. He let the game drift too long. Chelsea started to get on top with Jorginho dominating the midfield. And they were sort of like pushing us back. Now, he had to respond. Now, what he had in the second half was, he had Aubameyang was now back defending, helping out Saka. Nelson was back now defending, helping out Maitland-Niles. So whenever we got the ball, Robbie, there was no out ball. Ozil was here, Lacazette was here. We were struggling to get out, and it just kept coming back. What I would have done, and I know people are going to say it's all right for you to say it in hindsight, but I was sitting in the stadium with my son. I could see that they were getting on top. I would have made some changes. I would have changed shape. I would have gone 4-4-2. I think that possibly start off with moving Lacazette and Aubameyang closer together, maybe, and left them up higher. Maybe like played split strikers second half like we've done earlier this season, just as an out ball, right? I would not have taken Ozil off. Obviously, people can say, well, he was tired.
Yeah, and I suppose, you know, people also will say that he's taken into consideration the fact that we got United. Yeah. You know, it's a couple of days after, you know what I mean? So that's the thing as well, you know what I mean? And then on the bench,
what did he have?
There wasn't really, you know, there was a lot of youngsters on the bench, you know what I mean? You didn't even have guys like Martinelli and that you could bring into, you know.
I think what I would have done was, I would have, Ozil was obviously, if you brought on Willock for energy, which he did, maybe played Willock over here. I thought Guendouzi had a poor game, actually.
He had a poor game.
And I question whether...
I wrote him down quite low in the player ratings.
Whether he would have been the one to make way. So I always think that when you're struggling in a game, you don't take off your best passer. Because I think, you know, if you played split strikers here, Torreira sitting in front of the back four, winning the ball, giving it to Ozil, and Ozil trying to find a long diagonal out to one of these players, and then maybe get... if you brought on, say, Willock for Guendouzi, Willock would have been on the left, Nelson on the right, and then Ozil coming in here. So we've got like a 4. We've got like a 4 here. Torreira, Ozil's coming here now. So I'll just move Ozil in there. So we've got the extra man in midfield now to compete with their extra player in midfield. So if Ozil come in here, we would have had, say I'll cross out Guendouzi, and that's now Willock. So I'll write Willock in. Sorry about the blue. He's not playing for Chelsea. So Willock was in here, and then you had Ozil, Torreira and Nelson. Now you've got Nelson and Willock are young players, and Willock's just come on fresh, offered a bit of energy in a 4 and maybe get up to support the attack if they can. Ozil's sitting more now back next to Torreira to pin the balls forward. And then I thought the next change he could have done was maybe taken off Lacazette and brought in Pepe. Now this game might have been suited for Pepe.
Yeah. And Pepe can play quite centrally. He did that for Lille.
And so Pepe, if you'd sort of like brought in Pepe here. So you've got Pepe and Aubameyang now. If they're playing higher, Chelsea have got to worry about that more. All right, didn't have any problems second half because they were dominating the ball, no out ball. But when you've got two pacey players out wide or even coming central, as you say, they got something more to think about. But we didn't do that. I think he let the game drift too long. His substitutes didn't really work. He was hampered by, as you say, not having the players on the bench. He was hampered possibly by the Chambers injury, which he didn't want to make. And in the end, Chelsea wore us down, but we have to say, for all their possession, and they dominated the game second half, the only effort I can remember them having, Robbie, I don't know if you can correct me, was the Abraham header.
No, we were defending well, and you know, the referee now, the part he plays in their goal, because for me, I even watched it back on TV last night, it was clear cut. Right, it's a clear-cut foul. I know you are right. There were other fouls in the game. He was useless, the referee. But that one was right in front of him.
Yeah.
Right in front of him. It's not even like others where you can say, oh, well, maybe his vision was blocked. He's right in front of him. But when Doozy gets pulled down, not only does he not give a free kick, he gives a free kick the other way.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, what was he?
Well, I think the problem we had in that situation was that the Arsenal players surrounding the referee, obviously, I think, was the wrong thing to do. And Lacazette led the charge in, and I hate to see that. Whatever team it is, even our team, any team, asking for a player to be sent off is wrong, right? It was a second yellow, Robbie.
Do you know what? I didn't mind seeing it.
You didn't what?
Because you know what? For far too long, I liked it because for far too long with Arsenal, every other team does it.
Yeah.
And then when it's us, we're just like. But I was glad that they're all passionate and up for it. Look, you're ref. I like that. I like that. Everyone else does it.
But do you know what that did?
Everyone else does it.
Do you know what that did? If you're a referee, right, and I'm in your face screaming, send him off, what do you think that would make you feel as a referee?
Send him off.
No, I'll tell you what it does.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that the referee's like, oh, I'm not, bound to what you
let the referee do his job, and the referee.
But the referee weren't doing his job all game. That's why they got frustrated.
Robbie had no time to do his job, did he?
No, the whole game, Graham. The referee weren't doing his job.
No,
you said yourself.
No, he didn't.
How
do
many
his job.
fouls?
No.
So they're like frustrated. They're like, yo, what's going on? This guy's got to go now. He's on a yellow.
Yeah. And he should have gone.
And that would have changed the whole game,
Absolutely.
all the tactical formations, all that, they wouldn't have been able to be so brave because they'd only have 10 men.
Yeah.
And it was still only 1-0. Then he pops up down the other end and scores.
A real kick in the teeth, isn't it?
Oh.
Can I just sort of like say to you, right, that when Lacazette gets round him, I think the referee's thought process changes. Instead of concentrate on looking at what happened there, he's thinking, I'm going to book you now for telling me...
Yeah, book him. You can still book him, but send the man off.
But I just think, Robbie, whatever you say, that takes the emphasis away from the whole situation.
The referee's there to do your job, right? You can still book Lacazette and say, listen, I'm refereeing this game.
Yeah.
Quiet. There's a yellow card. Don't tell me who to send off. Then he turns round to the Jorginho and says, that's your second yellow. You did it right in front of me. It's your fault, mate. You see referees sometimes like, they go, listen... What, you give me no choice. He pulled it. He pulled the player back. The player's off, and he pulled him back.
Yeah, we had a 4.
You're gone. You're off.
We had a 4v1 situation.
Yeah, he done it deliberately. So obvious, right? And so I understand the frustration of the players because the whole game, the referee was terrible and is letting people getting away with murder, right? So in this case now, it's just out of frustration. They're like, "Are you serious? He's got to go now, right?" He's got to go, and he I'm sorry, he bottled it.
I agree.
He completely and utterly bottled the situation. Look, and it cost us dearly because whether you want to say tactics or whatever, when a team's down to 10 men, you know how hard it is.
Yeah.
The mindset then changes as well. You're talking about mindset. The mindset of Chelsea changes. It's like, you know what? You see if we can just hang in and nick a goal before the end of the game, not go on and win it, So it's not an excuse, but I understood completely. And the referees, the referees in this, I don't know.
Straight question to you.
Yeah.
Had the Arsenal players not surrounded him, do you think you would have sent him off?
I don't even think no, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't. I think he bottled it. I don't think he wanted to send him off. I don't think he wanted to.
Why would he not send him off for a tug?
I don't think he wanted to send him off. I think he's like, I just think you get referees now, sometimes, especially when games are on TV and the spotlight's on a game, they're just thinking, I don't want this to be a big talking point now. Everyone's going to say I sent him.
I
I sent him off. Lampard's going to be on my case. Chelsea fans are going to be saying this, but it's going to be a massive talking point. I'll just I'll let that one go.
But I think whatever you think, the fact that the Arsenal players surrounded him made it easy for him not to do it. That's just my view.
The referee, you listen. You trained for how many years as a referee? People surrounding you shouldn't influence your decision. Crowds shouldn't influence. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be influenced by the crowd. You're supposed to make the right decision. And he was, if it would have been different and he was standing somewhere else, he was right there, right in front of it.
And the annoying thing was that Torreira had just been booked for doing exactly the same thing.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
And that, hence the frustration of the players. You know what I mean? I understand it.
I felt cheated yesterday.
I felt cheated by that because
I think Lee judges, a lot of respect for Lee, but to call him corrupt, I think was a bit.
No, but I agree with you. Lee, you're right, man. He's corrupt. You know what I mean? Disclaimer on video. Those were Lee's opinions, but I do kind of agree with the disclaimer.
I don't think he's corrupt. I just think Lee did say he might be incompetent. I just think he made a mistake, and he was helped by the Arsenal players surrounding him. It gave him a get out of jail card. I don't think it's right. I think he was weak. He only looks about 15, doesn't he, Craig Paulson? He don't look old enough to referee again.
Maybe he ain't. Maybe he check his age. I mean, something.
But the thing is, Chelsea fans are going to say that he denied them a penalty. When Abraham was brought down by Guendouzi.
That wasn't a penalty.
I'm just saying what Chelsea...
Yeah, but VAR checks all those things and that. No, this one is obvious. That even the Chelsea fans afterwards, I was talking to them.
Yeah.
The ones that weren't laughing, right, because they knew, were just openly admitted it. Yeah, he should have went.
Should Guendouzi have gone?
I think Guendouzi's one was a little bit different because he could have went. He was very, he's very rash. But I think that when you get those ones where you clear and obviously pull a player back when there's an attack, everybody knows those are standard bookings. Innit? When you deliberately pull somebody back to break up an attack, right? And as you said, it was a 4-on-1, right? So you know what you're doing. You're taking one, even the player knows himself, I'm taking one for the team here, right? Those ones are obvious. And that is where, to me, he completely bottled it. Completely and utterly.
What will you do to him then?
Again, disclaimer, I don't really want to say it on camera what I would do to him right now, right? But he shouldn't be refereeing the next game.
You think he should be demoted?
Should be demoted down to the championship. Well, maybe to the, I don't know.
And to be
not
fair,
even the championship. Well, why should that's the other thing. I always think to myself, why should a substandard referee be demoted down to the championship? You just should not be refereeing a game.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point because I think had he gone off at 1-0, I think we would have won the game. And I said that myself. I've been arguing. I've got a friend of mine, Les Richardson, who's a massive, passionate Chelsea fan. I respect him enormously. He's a very fair, and even he thinks that Jorginho should have gone. But he did raise other questionable things that maybe Chelsea were unlucky in certain decisions. So, look. Had he, and the irony is, of course, they get the free kick out wide when Lacazette, who's having a bit of a tussle with Jorginho now, he'd been involved in the incident where he thought he should have been carded, brought him down out on the touchline. Mount swings the cross in, and Leno,
I don't know what Leno,
our player of the season, I think he went to punch it, didn't he? And they missed it.
And the punch it, I don't know what he's doing, man.
And then ironically,
you can't even have a go at him. He's saved us so many
he's been
times.
our player of the season.
But it was a terrible mistake.
Terrible mistake. And Jorginho taps it in. That felt like a slap in the face, didn't it?
Punch in the face.
Punch in the face, whatever you want to call it. So, but one thing I'll say is Lampard again. I'll talk about Lampard's flexibility and his tactics. And I mentioned about he started off the 3-4-2-1, Robbie, realised it wasn't working, went 4-3-3. And then I thought he did really positive things late in the game. And I'll give him credit, right, because he brought on the young fullback.
Lamptey,
I thought was excellent.
Yeah,
he had a lot of pace.
He was tiny, wasn't he? He was so quick.
And he went sort of like more 4-2.
And Hudson-Odoi he brought on as well.
Hudson-Odoi, Chelsea fans have been saying this season that Hudson-Odoi hasn't been going past players. But I thought he went past our fullback quite comfortably.
They were tired. They were so tired by that time.
But that made it a good move, didn't he? He switched to the 4-2-3-1. Arteta made his subs really late. And then Chelsea were sort of like pushing for the winner. A lot of people saying it looked like once it went 1-1, even though it was 7 minutes left, Chelsea were more likely to win it. But what really pissed me off, I'll be absolutely frank with you, sorry to swear, but it's the way we conceded that second goal, Robbie.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely disgusted because I said in the first, I mean, he's got to coach this out of the team. This is a throwback to Emery, early,
and Wenger.
Even Wenger maybe.
Yeah.
But we had 7 players when we were attacking, bear in mind, I know you could argue we've been pinned in so long that, and possibly the players were obviously
they're trying to win the game, aren't they?
Frustrated about conceding, and they look deflated, but they're piling forward, right? But it's just absolute madness. And I've written down here how we were, to try and illustrate to how we were. Just want to show this on the board, how we were when they broke away to get that winner, which really was a throwback, as I say, to the Arsenal of yesteryear. Now,
I love Graham with his old school papers.
I'm not as rich as you, Rob.
Yeah, we were going to get my iPad for Christmas, you know what I mean? But he said, "No, man, old school." All right.
Now, I agree with a lot of the fan cams yesterday. DT was spot on with his assessment. DT. And I think a lot of them highlighted the fact that Mustafi should have taken him out, right?
Yeah.
Now,
did what Jorginho did, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He just let the man run.
Now, I just want to highlight where we all are when this goal is. So, Aubameyang's the one attacking up here. Laka is in here. Mm-hmm. Then we got Willock, who's also forward here. So you got Willock and Laka around here. I forget, they're around this area. But then you've got like Pepe who's just come on, and you've got Maitland-Niles over here. And then you've got Guendouzi. I absolutely have no idea why Guendouzi was here. Absolutely no idea.
He should have been like sitting around here somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah. And you had Saka up here. Saka up here. And even Torreira was here. So when Chelsea break, they're going to have three players. 3 players, right? Here. They're going to have Willian, they're going to have Mount, and they're going to have Abraham. And when they break,
3 very quick players.
You've just got Mustafi and you've just got Luiz. That's the frightening thing. That should never happen in a football game. We're chasing it. We've got all those players ahead of the ball, 7 players ahead of the ball, and Torreira and Guendouzi, Torreira here. Guendouzi was up here. So we've got all those players up there. And you know what I said about us being we are a small space team, Robbie, right? That was the large space team back again that we've been all season conceding goals, players running backwards. Now, when Abraham gets the ball, quite rightly, Mustafi has to engage.
He doesn't engage.
No, why does he not engage? I think he's
like the guy said yesterday on the fan cam. He backs up like a hard drive. You know what I mean? Right? He's just backing up. Go and take the guy out.
Yeah. The thing is, Mustafi, I think he's frightened. He's got no pace, has he?
Take him out.
No, he should go to him. Look, any coach, your boy plays young junior football and at a good level. Your coach would tell him, just engage, take him out. In fact, they're told to do that, aren't they? That's why.
And we've seen him many times over the years jumping in. Why jump in? When he's got to jump in, he don't jump in.
Man City, and Arteta, one thing he hasn't brought from Man City yet is Man City's way of tactically fouling. Yeah. But Chelsea were tactically fouling in this first half and getting away with it. So why not just take him out? Take one for the team, get booked. But he's like backing off. Luiz is backing off. And they worked the opening. Willian, who I thought grew into the game, looked very good second half. But I thought we pushed him wide, but he gets the ball into the box to Abraham. But even then,
and then
Mustafi
backs off again,
gives him too much space. It was an absolute calamitous goal to concede, to have so many players.
Like old Arsenal guy, it was how we've been conceding goals all season.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, that's one of the things that Arteta is going to have to fix. But does he fix it by just getting new people in? Because like you said, can you get it out of these guys?
The players seemed dead on their feet second half, didn't they? Whether it's because they're not used to the intensity and the energy he wants to bring to the team. They put so much into the first half. We should have been more than one up, but second half they were flagging. I think if you'd flipped it to a 4-4-2 with out balls, maybe brought on Pepe, it might have been easier. But a lot of these players, and Saka took a lot of stick, but he was struggling with an injury towards the end. That's why
he's only an 18-year-old kid playing in a position he's never ever played.
So in the end, it's a rude awakening. Lampard, people say we've got a rookie manager. He's a great coach, and he's going to be a great manager. But I think he got taught a lesson by Frank Lampard in that game.
Yeah, and he's going to have to learn.
One win, Robbie, in our last 15. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. 1 win in our last 15 games now in all competitions, and we've lost 4 home games in a row for the first time since 1959.
Season's over.
So
in the league, isn't it?
On the Man United.
What a relegation for, man. Have we got?
Do you think we're going to go down?
Surely we got. I think Chris Hudson sent me
he thinks we're
a text yesterday, and he said to me, he goes, we need 6 wins from the 15 to avoid relegation. I was like, how are we even talking like this? I can't believe what's going on, but it happens sometimes. I suppose it's a cycle of football. We got to give this guy time to rebuild, haven't we? Now, can he beat United?
Well, I have to say we're playing United.
United, a real counter-attacking team as well.
United are a counter-attacking team. I think that we're playing United when they're in a run of good form as well. They beat Newcastle 4-1. I thought they were very impressive at Burnley. Yeah. They got pace in wide areas. I think, yes, we can beat them because, remember, we saw how vulnerable they were at Watford. But I think we need to play on the front foot, but I think we need to be disciplined again, and I think we need to be physical and compete and win our duels. Of course we can beat Man United, but I think we're playing United at a time when United are in a good run of form. So yes, we can beat them, but he's going to have to tactically get it right.
Okay, well, Graham, listen, thank you very much. You heard what Graham said there. Basically what he's saying, brilliant tactically in the first half from Mikel Arteta, but probably in the second half, you've got to hand it to Lampard. He switched his tactics up, and Arteta was a bit slow to respond. And also, we made 2 huge errors, really, that cost us the game. And it's back to the drawing board for Arteta. Hopefully, he can get his first win for Arsenal against Manchester United. That would really set him on his way if he can do that. But again, he's going to have to tactically think how he's going to deal with the counter-attacking pace of Manchester United. And we'll be back next week to review that one and see how that goes.